So your first opportunity was with the Houston Rockets, right?
Yeah.
Related with your first season opportunity.
First season.
And I saw that you had you had a few 10-day contracts. And I was, as a fan, I'm always curious, what are they expecting out of players on a 10-day contract? Especially, let's say that 10 days, you don't get an opportunity to get on the court, but maybe y'all playing in close games or whatnot. What are they expecting out of a 10-day contract? Like?
They expect a lot of it in their contract. They expect you to be a good teammate, a rah-rah guy, locker room guy, come in there and play hard, bust your ass the whole time. Being a 10-day guy, that means they looking for somebody that can fill a gap, fill a void somewhere. You're not necessarily going to be one of these guys that they need to come be an offensive threat or a great defensive guy. And my first 10-day was, I think, with Houston, right? Yeah, I was with Houston, and T-Mac was one of my guys. He's from right up the street right here. So I had a chance to watch T-Mac and Vince and all these guys grow up and play against him, play with him. And so I'm his teammate now. T-Mac, man, show me what's going on. Coach was Jeff Van Gundy. Tough coach.
Yeah, I heard a lot about it. I hear it throughout, the other basketball podcasts. What made him so tough?
He just was a stickler. He was a dynamic coach. He was all about his business. Like, I don't want to have time to bullshit and do all this stuff over here. We come here to win.
Gotcha.
This is what we need to do to win. Let's do it. And he was direct to the point. He had no time for the chit chat, this and that. So I didn't know all this coming in there, and I'm thinking I'm hanging out with T-Mac, I'm hanging out with Ray for Austin, Skip to my Lou, all these things, and I'm all right. I got an opportunity, got a chance here. I remember my first game. I got in the game. I shot like 2 or 3 threes in the corner. I might have airballed one of them and missed. I was like 0 for 3. Buzzer coming out. T-Mac, why you shooting all the shots, young fella? Thought I was supposed to come here and score. I'm not showing y'all that I can play. Play defense first. Defense first. So I had kind of forgot what had got me into these 10 days. And call-up went down to the G League, was scoring 40 here and there, doing stuff. Got back up, and I was like, I'm a scorer now. No, they didn't want me to score. I should have stayed a defender. And then when I made it and got in there, then did my offensive thing, ended up getting released by them. Ended up getting another call back up with Chicago.
Yep.
I did 2 10 days with Chicago. They just had so many players over there. It's a lot of guys in my position, Eddie Bass and Ben Gordon, all these guys was there current. So it was really hard for me to find my niche there. Ended up getting released by them. I was like, damn, man, I got to go back down to the D-League, G-League again, man. I can't do this no more. Yeah. Man, the G-League, it's a grind. It's a grind, man. You got a bus everywhere, commercial airplane. I'm not saying that to say that's taking it for granted, but it's a grind.
Yeah,
it's a grind out there.
Talk to me about that though, because I know you played for a few teams. I mean, I got Pacers, Charlotte, Bulls, Houston, Cavs, Blazers, Nets, Bucks. Yeah. Talk to me about being traded, going for different teams. How does that impact? 1, you mentally, 2, your family. Is it hard to have a family when you got to keep moving that way?
I was a journeyman, right? I didn't get that opportunity to get drafted, so I gotta figure out where I'm gonna go. So got a couple calls when Phoenix, San Antonio, Houston, Chicago, and then I ended up getting signed a contract to go to Cleveland, play the remainder of the season. Got a chance to play with LeBron and all these guys. Yep. And then from there, I'm like, all right, man, I done got my foot in the door. I done made the playoff roster now. We going to the playoffs. I'm here. Let's hoop. Let's play. Cleveland ended up being a good situation for me. I'm trying to get moved somewhere. I'm trying to get traded now. Portland had an opportunity for me to come out there, but they held my contract a little long in Cleveland, and I couldn't go till after training camp left. They ended up signing a couple players that was in my position, so I ended up leaving or getting waived. I asked them to waive me from Cleveland. Ended up going to Portland.
You asked them to waive you?
Me and my agent, we was like, well, y'all not going to keep me. Y'all not going to trade me, get anything from me. Just waive me. I'll wait for waiver wires.
Gotcha.
Right? Ended up leaving, going to Portland, signing with Portland. Played for Coach Nate McMillan. Love Nate McMillan. Great coach. Had a chance to play with rookie Brandon Roy, Zebo. Shout out to Zebo, my big homie. It didn't end up being a great situation for me there. And now I'm like, I'm just got to figure something else out. Man, I might have to go back to the G League. I might need to go overseas, trying to figure that route out. And then Indiana called. This was great timing for me. Yeah, we want to sign you up 2-year deal, biannual contract. Man, what? Don't tell me this. I'm ready. Let's go hoop now. So get to Indiana. You know, I did my thing in Indiana. Played there for Jim O'Brien for 2 years. I'm in my foot in the door right now. I'm going into my 5th year now. Get an opportunity, chance to go to Charlotte. Signed with Charlotte for a year. Played for Larry Brown, one of my favorite coaches.
Yeah, monster.
Great coach. Yeah,
monster.
man.
Like I said, I'm from Philly, so I love him.
Yeah, man. I love Larry Brown, and we had a really good team, man. Steven Jackson, Raymond Felton, Tyson Chandler, all these guys. Gerald Wallace.
Gerald Wallace is good. Mm-hmm.
And we had a really good team. DJ Augustine ended up going to the playoffs, getting swept by Orlando in the first round, but they was really good. I think that was the year they made it to the finals that year, and left Charlotte, signed with, it wasn't Brooklyn, it was New Jersey Nets at the time, and signed with New Jersey. Ended up signing a 2-year deal with that. Went into the lockout after that. After my first year there, I'm like, damn, you know, I was a part of the Players Association. Went up there for the arbitration with in New York. We ended up signing a deal that wasn't, I don't think, conducive for all the players in the NBA. Ended up making a lot of the contracts non-guaranteed. We ended up losing about 75 mid-level, mid-range type of NBA players, guys like Keith Bogans, Marquise Daniels, all these guys that were on that mid-level contract.
Yeah.
These guys are no longer in the league. It's top-heavy now for our veteran, you know, franchise players, and it's loaded low for, we're going to bring in some of these young guys that you probably don't know. We're going to give them a couple of dollars here and there, but it kicked a big portion of us out of the league, and from there on, the league just changed. The dynamic of the NBA just changed. Yeah. And then from there, I just kind of floated around, ended up trying to go overseas. During the lockout, I ended up going to China. Went over there and played pretty good for a little while. Came back. I was like, I'm going to give this one more shot, man. I'm 30-something now, 31, 32. I'm not sitting here trying to fight with no 20, 21. Y'all knowing that y'all going to give him the position, and I'm not doing that. I'm the OG. I'm the vet now,
exactly.
right?
I was saying 32 old head in that.
But you know, that dog in me, like, I'll go ahead and show these young fellas what's up. But ended up getting an opportunity to go to Milwaukee. Played a little bit in Milwaukee. This is 2013, 14. At this time period, I'm like, man, you know what? Family's a little bit more important. And you asked me about how did it affect my family life. I was single until I got to Indiana and ended up getting my ex-wife. Now she ended up getting pregnant, had 3 beautiful children with her. Rest is history.